Growth with jobs is the primary aim of this administration.
And so, the minister with our portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation unveiled the state's plan to continue that focus in the 2018-2019 fiscal year.
Those targets were laid out during his recent contribution to the sectoral debates in Parliament.
Here are the highlights.
The PIOJ is projecting real growth of 2.5% for the 2018-19 fiscal year.
This, Minister Vaz says, is based on several things, including the continued strengthening of most industries, improvements in the business environment, and the rollout of major strategic investments.
Increasing economic growth has also led to a sharp decline in the unemployment rate. Up to January 2018, the unemployment rate stood at 9.6%, the lowest it has been since October 2007. Most of those employed during the period were non-government employees.
We are reaping success from the plans and programs that we have put in place in partnership with the private sector.
A critical pillar of that cooperation is the business process outsourcing, information communications technology sector. Having surpassed the target of 11,000 new BPO jobs for the last fiscal year, work is ongoing to create 24,520 jobs from investments in 15 projects across the island.
Support for the micro, small and medium enterprise MSME sector will also be expanded in the financial year.
The Development Bank of Jamaica will provide $27 billion in investments and over $8 billion in loans to MSMEs. Businesses will also benefit from a $1 billion loan scheme from the National Export-Import Bank of Jamaica.
To increase investments on the island, a comprehensive feasibility study for the Caenwood Economic Zone is to be completed in July.
This is to determine how the 1,200-acre site is to be used. The Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative gained Cabinet's approval in May, paving the way for its master plan and marketing analysis to be tabled in Parliament.
The master plan specifically details the actions Jamaica will need to take on several fronts simultaneously in order to realize its vision.
And work continues apace on the drafting and implementation of the necessary enabling legislation to facilitate investments.
Land remains an integral factor in the pursuit of economic growth and social development, as key sectors rely heavily on land and its utilization.
As a result, land titling has been accelerated with the merger of the National Land Agency and the Land Administration and Management Program, LAMP.
In order to streamline the land titling process, a systematic and community-based approach to establish land ownership is being implemented. Digital land mapping, electronic titling, and a public education campaign are also to be introduced. Strong action is to be taken on the environment in this fiscal year. To deal with poor air quality issues in and around Riverton City, the state has introduced a source emission reduction strategy and plan of action.
The plan targets the closure of illegal sites and the removal of solid waste, including tires, community sensitization and awareness building strategies to address minor sources of air pollution, deployment of additional air quality monitors, and the development of a national program for the environmentally sound management of used tires.
The Green Paper for Jamaica's emissions policy framework is to be submitted to Cabinet this year. On the matter of plastics, the government is working with private firms, Recycling Partners of Jamaica, to collect and export PET bottles.
A $700,000 partnership has been struck with the government of Japan and UN Environment to undertake a plastics minimization project.
The question of a ban for plastic bags and styrofoam is not an if, it is a when.
International cooperation on the environment will also be increased this year. In addition to receiving $882,000 from the Green Climate Fund to increase climate change mitigation and adaptation, Jamaica will benefit from the assessment of its mangroves. 8 coastal communities will also see improved risk identification and reduction to vulnerability under the World Bank's Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Program. International assistance will be garnered for the implementation of climate-smart agriculture in rural farming communities and assessment of climate change on sandy shorelines around the island.
I have a vision of a Jamaica that is strong fiscally and socially. Together, we will continue creating jobs and empowering Jamaicans so that we can build a Jamaica that we all envision, the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.